Hey everyone. As many of you may know, my wife and I just recently had a newborn, so I did mention this in some of the past videos, and so wand production has slowed down significantly to kind of go with some sleep deprivation. So please bear with me through this video. I'm sure I'm probably get a little like, sleep deprived. But I have 5 new wands, 6 ones a custom to share with you today. So let's just jump right into it and take a look. This one here, I don't know what type of wood it is, but I was trying my hand at a leather wrap, and get that closer in here so you can see some of the detail. There we go. You can see the texture on the leather there. Picked the leather up at a craft store, so I assume that it was probably, I don't know, sourced in some humane way. But there is this. It's pretty simple overall, but that's kind of what I was going for. I was just going for like a really simple, sort of rustic overall shape to it. The wood grain is kind of cool looking. And again, I'm not sure what kind of wood it is. It doesn't feel like a particularly dense wood. It is from the stockpile of free wood that I got from that guy a while back. So if it is a hardwood, I would put it on par with like poplar. So a less dense hardwood for sure. So there's this. Moving on to the next one. This is crab apple, and I believe that it's about 12.5 inches long. And it is, like I said, crab apple, but it does have an obsidian stain on it. And then I believe a satin finish as far as like a clear acrylic coat. It's kind of like a ribbon almost type of design to it. Again, relatively simple overall design, but a fun one, I think. And with the obsidian stain, I'll see if like the camera can pick it up. There, you can still see a good amount of the wood grain that's a part of the crab apple that's peeking out there through the really dark stain, which to me gives it a really cool overall look to it. This one will be going up in the shop soon. Well, it should be up on the shop as of the release of this video. So go check it out. Go check all these out. The next one is very much more in the kind of unconventional zone, I think, which I've talked about in some of the DIY wand courses that I've done, different types of wands and whatnot. So here's this one. Again, don't know the type of wood. A not very dense hardwood, so it is very, very light feeling in the hand. Again, kind of on par with poplar. And the way that you would hold this is, even though it might be somewhat reminiscent of a curved handled like Bellatrix type of a wand, is that it's misleading in that way where, I mean, you could hold it like this, but the way that it was designed was to actually be held like this. So this right here kind of hugs the meaty portion of your palm right there. And it's almost like you're holding a pistol. Now again, if you get this wand, you can hold it however you like, but it's a bit more comfortable in the hand, for me anyway, right like that. This back part here has been wood burnt, so this is really, really charred wood right here. And then this is just kind of recessed and carved out into the blade here. Let me know what you think of these in the comment section below. If you like any of the particular designs that you're seeing from some of these, things that you like about one, maybe not about another, what you'd like to see more of, any of that good stuff. So this one was a unique, this is 13 inches, was a kind of a weird, I don't know about weird, but it's just, it was a very, I've seen wood burnt tables. There's like I think it's a Japanese saying, it's a particular type of technique with wood burning. And basically it creates all these different types of cracks in the wood. If you've ever seen a log on a campfire, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I've also heard as kind of a layman term, or just another way to reference it, as called gator skin. So the idea that I had was, well, I'll show you, is to burn the wood to the point of it being so charred that parts of it start to kind of come apart. And then I went over it with a gold resin and that filled in all the cracks where some of that wood had come out from the burning process. And then I wiped the surface level, as much as possible to remove the gold, leaving only the recessed gold bits here. As well as the back end here, you can see it's got some gold acrylic or gold resin in there. I'm trying to find the best lighting for this. That might be it right there. Not sure how well it's reading on the camera. This wood is crabapple. This is a crabapple wood. This has got, again, kind of that, maybe I shouldn't reference. I'm trying to actually not talk about the major corporation that must not be named. But it does have a curved handle, and held in more of the traditional kind of curved handled sense, it would be held like this. This was all burnt. This is burnt up here as well. I used a little wood iron to get into those smaller areas where the wood's kind of carved out right there. And then this is like a really, really light kind of, not quite honey brown, but it's just a really light brown stain that was put over the crabapple. So the idea with this was that I believe the term is ichor. I may not be pronouncing it the best, but ichor blood, which is basically from Greek times, it was what they called the blood of the gods. So this has an ichor core to it. And the idea was that it started to become maybe somehow unstable and started to kind of come out, but then it also, when it got exposed to the air, it solidified. And so it results in this. Let me know what you think of this one. Got one more. So this is the first in what is going to be an ongoing series. I don't know if I'd call it a series, but it's definitely an approach that I'm going to work more into some of these designs. I felt like while I do enjoy working with just the wood and different elements with the wood and whatnot, and different materials as far as like leathers and things like that, this is more rustic. I've been wanting to kind of toss my hat into the more kind of elegant vintage ring. And so this is actually made from an antique, I believe it's like 100 and something year old sterling silver handle. And the rest of the wood was carved to borrow elements from the handle itself. So while it may not look identical, the idea here with this piece is that it informed the detail here that goes around the hand, kind of like the guard of the wand. And then there's some additional details carved here that actually raise up off of the blade. And those were again, kind of informed by some of the detail down here, some of those swirls. So there you have it. More of a vintage, antique, kind of high class looking wand right there. And this is maple that's been stained with that ebony stain. And there we go. This is, I believe, 12 inches right on the dot. Let me know what you think of this one down below. The idea of continuing with some of these. I do have kind of a sneak peek. I do have And these are just two of the many more that I have on the side here, but this is just a sneak peek of some things to come. My autofocus is not wanting to work so well for me right now. But like I said, I'm wanting to mix it up here and there. I don't want to only exclusively do this type of wand, but I do like the idea of throwing it into the mix with, you know, some of these other types, these more interesting ones that I come up with. And if you've watched the other videos, you've seen all sorts of different, you know, odd kind of, well, not odd, but just different unique designs that I've come up with. Okay, so this last one that I'm going to show was I'm going to clear these little wands away real quick, is a custom wand design that somebody reached out to me through my Etsy page. So obviously me sharing that with you, by all means, if you have an idea for a wand of your own, particularly following the wand course, maybe you don't have all of the hardware, all of the machinery and the tools to make something that you have an idea for. You can certainly still utilize a lot of the tips that I provide in that wand course for planning out your design, and particularly like the sketching one, which I have not released yet as of this recording, but I hope to have that out soon. Anyway, you can provide me with the design, and then we can talk and see if it's something that I can put together for you. So, first of all, there's kind of my standard. This one doesn't have the wording or the logo on it at the moment, but this is the standard wand box. Okay, it's white. There'll be a cushion black insert thing here, which you'll see in the other box in a moment. But so that's the standard, and it's gold lettering vanderswands across the top there. And now with custom orders, I like to make it a little bit extra special if I can, and also to go with the specific custom wand, when able, you know, I'm only limited by the material that I have. So this is a vinyl wrapped wand box, and the reason for the blue lettering you'll see in a moment. And it's really, just the sound of it's a lot different. You'll probably hear it when I open it too. Inside is I'll get that in a second. Thank you for your purchase. Little insert. This is I think this is the first time I've really kind of done a review on a box and the stuff that I send with it. This part fell out of the box, which is just a fun little about your wand insert, you know, with some charred edges to the paper here to give it more of a vintage, kind of rustic, old world vibe to it. You know, like it's almost not like a treasure map, but something that was found or just that's been around for a while, I guess. I don't know. Aesthetically, I just kind of liked that. I thought it was fun. So, on the inside of the wand box, there's this nice shimmery little ribbon deal here. Whether you keep that in it, you know, after receiving it or not, whatever, you know, it's more of just kind of a nice looking way to create a small barrier between the wand and the little charred piece of paper that I put in there. I do wipe the edges down after I char it just to make sure that there's no ash that can kind of get on anything, but just as an additional precaution, I put that in there. So we'll take that out and set it aside. So here is that custom wand that I designed for a gentleman by the name of Tyler a little while ago. And here's that kind of velvety insert, and you'll see that it's been cut to fit the shape of the wand specifically. Go ahead and pull this out. So Tyler's idea, he had contacted me, and he just kind of was, he had the length of his wand that he had gotten from Pottermore, I believe, or the Wizarding World website. And so for the purposes of the commission of this wand, it was important that it be 12 and a quarter inches long, which it is. And so we talked about some different design options. He shared a few different images of some wands that I had previously had up on my site, but that had sold. And he was liking some different elements of it, particularly the ombre kind of fading from black or burnt to not. And so through some different sketches that I sent to him, he also asked if there was a way that we could incorporate the color blue. And so here is that. It's like crushed sand or blue sand inlays right here. There. So we got some sand, blue sand inlays right in there. And then we ended up kind of going with a more sleek / simple geometric shaped handle back here. And there you go. This is mostly wood burnt. However, it was burnt after I had taken it off the lathe, so I didn't want to get the flame too close to the, the glue or acrylic right here, because I don't want to melt it. So from about here to here is that ebony stain, but it all really blends well together, and you don't really even, it's like you can really tell. So. Thank you, Tyler, for reaching out to me through my Etsy shop and contacting me. It was a real pleasure working on the project with you. This is one of the ones for me where I'm sad to see it go. I like all my designs enough to genuinely miss them when they're gone, particularly when they're around for a little while and they haven't quite found their witch or wizard. I just get accustomed to kind of seeing them there, and so then when they go, it's like, you gotta part ways. But some more than others, and this for me is definitely one of those where it's, even though it was designed specifically for you, it's definitely one that I'm gonna miss. So there you go. That is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new wands. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Like I said before, if you have any comments or questions, leave them below. Never hesitate to reach out. Also, if you're enjoying what you're seeing on the channel, I know that it's a social media like taboo or something like that, but share the channel on your social media outlets. Let's help it grow. I think the more the channel grows, it's just going to kind of help potentially encourage me to continue down this journey. I'm going to continue making wands regardless, but just a little additional like fuel in the tank. Not to mention, if the channel gets big enough, I don't know. I don't really know enough about YouTube at the moment to know how like sponsorships and all that stuff works. But if ever it gets to that place, well then, without having to rely on asking people to sign up for what is that? Patreon or other sites where you have to like pay a monthly subscription just to have like access to information. I mean, I have the DIY wand course on my YouTube channel for free. I have no intentions of ever charging anyone for the information that I'm putting up. So at the moment though, so if the channel gets, grows a bit more, and it might allow me more of an opportunity to continue to put up more information and helpful tips and things like that. Not to mention, maybe some of the ones that I've put up aren't quite for you yet. You're interested, like you like what you're seeing, but you're just still waiting for that specific one to really speak to you or something. Maybe there's one on here that a friend of yours or someone, it would really work for them. It would just really, that would be their wand, and they just haven't seen it yet. So, for all the good reasons and right reasons, go forth, share the channel, share it on your Instagram, Facebook, wherever, and help people find their wands, help the wands find their, choose their witch or wizard. So, all right, thanks for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. If you haven't done so yet, hit subscribe, click the little bell icon down below for future videos and notifications. Thanks for watching.